The gravel sounds like bones in a jar when you step on loose shale at 11,000 feet. I'm Rachel Carter, 54 years old, ICU nurse supervisor at Regional Memorial Hospital, and I'm about to die on Switchback Ridge because my son thinks I'm in his way. The trail's narrow here, maybe 18 inches of packed dirt with a lip that crumbles if you breathe wrong. On my left, granite walls streaked with lichen and bird shit. On my right, 300 feet of nothing but Colorado air, then rocks that'll crack you open like an egg dropped on a kitchen floor. Tyler's 20 feet ahead with his drone controller, grinning at the camera floating above us like a mechanical vulture. His wife Madison, Maddie to her 50,000 Instagram followers, walks beside him in leggings that cost more than my truck payment. She's got the kind of athletic gear that's never seen real dirt until today. All matching colors and moisture-wicking fabric that probably has its own social media presence. "Mum, you're lagging. We need golden hour light for the shot." Tyler calls back over his shoulder, not even looking at me. Just watching his drone screen, adjusting angles, living his life through a viewfinder. My husband Daniel's beside me, favoring his bad knee from the construction accident 12 years back. He's 56, park maintenance electrician, the kind of man who fixes things quietly and never complains about pain, even when I can see it in the way he moves. His hands on my elbow, steadying me on the loose sections. "Take your time, Rach," he murmurs. "No rush." But Tyler's impatient, always has been. 29 years old, and he's made a career out of being photogenic on mountain peaks while brands pay him to hold their energy bars like they're sacred artifacts. 6-figure sponsorships for smiling at cameras and talking about authenticity while living the most manufactured life I've ever seen. 0 real skills, just image and performance, and the desperate hunger for validation that comes in the form of likes and shares and brand deals. Maddie glances back at us, and her eyes slide past me like I'm scenery. Not a person, not Tyler's mother, just an obstacle between her and the content she needs to post before sunset. That look, I've seen it before in the ICU when family members are waiting for someone to die so they can get back to their lives. Cold, calculating, done. That's when I know. Not consciously. Not yet. But my ICU brain, the part that spent 30 years reading micro-expressions and body language and predicting coding patients 3 minutes before the monitors catch up, that part knows something's wrong. The lizard brain that kept our ancestors alive when predators smiled before they attacked. "Come on, right here, this bend is perfect." Tyler waves us forward impatiently, like we're props he's positioning for a shot. The light's fading and we need this before it goes orange. We reach the spot he wants. The trail curves sharp here, almost 90 degrees, and the drop's even steeper, maybe 350 if you include the scree slope, before you hit the rocks. The kind of fall that doesn't leave survivors. The kind that makes the news for a day before everyone forgets. The drone hovers above us, red recording light blinking steadily, capturing everything. "Okay, so we're doing a family gratitude thing," Maddie says, phone in her perfectly manicured hand. "Tyler's going to talk about how you guys taught him to love the outdoors, and we'll get this beautiful sunset behind us, and it'll be super emotional and authentic. Just stand right there and look proud or whatever." Daniel's boot slips on loose gravel. He catches himself against the wall, but it's loud. Rocks skitter over the edge, and we all hear them bouncing down, taking forever to hit bottom. The sound echoes up like a warning. Tyler and Maddie exchange a look. It lasts 1 second, maybe 2. But I'm trained to see what people don't say, and that look says everything. It's the look of 2 people who've discussed something privately and are now deciding whether to execute the plan. It's the look of co-conspirators, of people who've already crossed a line in their heads and are just waiting for the right moment to cross it in reality. Then Tyler moves. Not fast, not obvious, just a step closer. His hand comes up like he's reaching to steady Daniel, but the angle's wrong. The pressure's wrong. Everything about the biomechanics is wrong for helping someone, and right for pushing someone. He pushes, both hands, center mass. Daniel goes backward into me and we're falling. Not off the edge yet, but sliding, scrabbling, and then my hand catches something, root or rock or maybe God's last joke, and I'm dangling with Daniel below me by maybe 3 feet, his weight pulling on my arm socket, and the stupid miracle is that we're alive at all. My rotator cuff screams. My fingers are already bleeding. But we're not falling anymore. We're suspended in that terrible space between the trail and the rocks, between living and dying, between believing your child loves you and knowing they just tried to murder you. Above us, boots on gravel. Voices. I don't move. Can't move. Every muscle locked in survival mode. Daniel's whispering something, his voice barely breath against the wind. Don't move. Play dead. His words cut through my panic. My ICU training kicks in. He's right. We need to hear what they say. We need to know if this was accident or intention. We need evidence. I freeze, stop even breathing loud. Below me, Daniel does the same. Tyler's voice, high and panicked, but with something underneath, something rehearsed. Oh my God, Maddie, they went over. Stop recording. Maddie's voice is sharp, controlled. Stop the fucking drone right now. Tyler, now. The drone's hum changes pitch, coming down, landing. Silence for 5 heartbeats. 10, then footsteps moving fast. Not toward us. Away. Tyler's voice again, farther now, carrying on the wind. We post in an hour. Grief content performs insane numbers. I've seen the metrics. What if they're not dead? Maddie's voice, smaller now, uncertain. They fell 300 feet. Nobody survives that. We hike out. We call 911 from the trailhead. Like we just found out. We were too far ahead to see exactly what happened. We've got the footage of them behind us on the trail. We've got timestamps. Story's clean. What about the drone footage? I stopped it before. There's nothing showing the actual fall, just them being slow and us being ahead. Perfect. Their voices fade as they move down the trail. Fast. Not even checking if we're okay. Not calling for help. Not doing anything except leaving us to die and planning how to monetize it. I'm gripping rock and root with one hand, Daniel's jacket with the other, and my rotator cuff is screaming, but I don't make a sound because my son, my firstborn, the baby I nursed and raised and sacrificed for, just tried to murder me for Instagram engagement, and I need to process that without falling to my death. Daniel pulls himself up slightly, takes some weight off my arm. His face is grey with pain and shock. I have to tell you something, he whispers, voice rough. 3 months ago, Tyler asked me to sign the house deed over, said he needed it to secure a sponsor loan. Something about using equity for business expansion. I said no. He said, Daniel's voice breaks. He said, there are faster ways to inherit. Just so you know. My arm's shaking now. Can't hold much longer. You didn't tell me. I didn't want to believe it. Didn't want you to worry. Thought I could talk to him, make him understand. I didn't want to start a war. Well, my voice sounds strange even to me. Flat. Dead. The war's started. I look up at the ledge above us. Maybe 4 feet. Handholds in the rock face where erosion's carved out pockets. It's climbable. Barely. Can you climb? I ask. Knees bad, really bad, but yeah. Rather die trying than die hanging. We climb. It takes 20 minutes. My fingers bleed, leaving smears on the rock. Daniel's knee buckles twice, and I have to brace him with my body while he finds new footholds. Every muscle in my arms burns. My rotator cuff is definitely damaged. But we make it back to the trail and lie there gasping while the sunset turns the mountains pink and gold, and beautiful and utterly indifferent to whether we live or die. The drone's gone. Tyler and Maddie are gone. The hikers who were a quarter-mile back are gone. We're alone on this mountain, with darkness coming, and the knowledge that my son just tried to kill us. Daniel sits up slowly, testing his legs, his knee. "What now?" he asks. I look at the trail leading down, at the rock face where my son pushed us, at the drop that should have killed us but didn't. "If Tyler wants the house," I say, voice steady now, cold with purpose, "he can start by prying it from the rock I'm using as a ladder." Daniel almost laughs, doesn't quite make it. "You're serious?" "He tried to kill us, Dan, for a house and a live stream, for content and inheritance money. He planned this. He and Maddie discussed this, and they left us to die." "What are you going to do?" I stand up slowly, checking myself for breaks. Everything hurts, but nothing's ruined that won't heal. My hands are bloody, my shoulders damaged, but I'm alive and I'm angry, and I'm very, very good at documentation. "I'm going to do what I do at work," I say. "Chart the symptoms, diagnose the problem, prescribe treatment. Rach, he wanted me dead. I'm going to show him what dead mothers do when they don't cooperate." We start walking down. The descent takes 2 hours in failing light. By the time we reach the ranger station at the trailhead, it's dark and my hands have stopped shaking, and my mind is working through everything I need to do. Evidence, documentation, witnesses, the same methodical approach I use in the ICU when someone's coding and I need to save them, except this time I'm not saving anyone. This time I'm building a case. That's when the real work begins. The ranger station smells like coffee and pine cleaner and old paperwork. Fluorescent lights buzz overhead, casting everything in that institutional green-white that makes everyone look slightly ill. There's a corkboard covered with trail maps and safety notices and missing person flyers from years past. Officer Camille Hart looks up from her desk when we walk in. She's maybe 40, dark skin, close-cropped hair, tired eyes that have seen enough mountain accidents to know the difference between bad luck and bad decisions. She's wearing the standard Park Service uniform, but there's a coffee stain on the collar, and her name tag is slightly crooked. Real person. Real cop. Not someone who's going to let me bullshit her. "Accident?" she asks, taking in our torn clothes, my bloody hands, Daniel's limp. "Near miss," I say carefully. Every word matters now. Switchback ridge, upper bend near the granite overhang. Trail gave way under my husband. We caught ourselves. Took us a while to get down. She pulls out a tablet, starts typing. "Names? Rachel and Daniel Carter. That's Carter. Time of incident? 1745, approximately. Maybe 47. Somewhere in that window. You need medical attention? I'm an ICU supervisor at Regional Memorial. We're scraped up and my shoulder's strained, but we're stable. We'll get checked when we get home." "You were hiking alone?" I pause. This is the moment. The first time I say it out loud to someone with authority. "No, our son and his wife were with us. They hiked out ahead." Hart's fingers stop moving on the tablet. She looks up. "They left you after the fall?" "They were ahead of us on the trail, maybe 100 yards. When the trail gave way, I don't think they heard it." It's not quite a lie. They were ahead. They just pushed us first. Hart's eyes narrow slightly. She's a cop. She hears the careful phrasing. "Your kids hiked out ahead of you after a near-fatal fall?" "Apparently." "Did they know you fell?" "I'd have to ask them." Hart types more. "When did they leave the trailhead?" "I don't know. We got here maybe 15 minutes ago." "They didn't wait." "Doesn't appear that way." Hart sets down the tablet. "Mrs. Carter, can I be straight with you?" "Please." "I saw a young couple at the trailhead about an hour ago. Mid-20s, expensive outdoor gear, the whole Instagram hiker aesthetic. They were upset about something. Said their parents had an argument with them on the trail and hiked out early separately. Said they were worried, but figured you knew these trails and would be fine." Daniel's hand finds mine under the desk. "That's interesting," I say carefully, keeping my voice level, nurse calm. "Because we were behind them when the trail collapsed. And we didn't have any argument. Hart picks up the tablet again. You're saying they lied? I'm saying I'd like to file an incident report with accurate timestamps and GPS coordinates, so there's a record of what actually happened and when. She studies me for a long moment. 20 years of being a cop has taught her to read people. She's reading me now, seeing the controlled fury underneath the professional calm. Okay, let's document everything. We spend the next hour giving statements. I make sure to mention the drone, the exact position on the trail, the camera angles Tyler was checking. I describe the moment of the fall with clinical precision, the pressure, the direction, the lack of any attempt to help afterward. I don't say Tyler pushed us, not yet, but I lay out every fact in careful sequence so that anyone reading this later will see the shape of what happened. Hart writes it all down without comment. She's good at her job. She's documenting everything I'm saying and not saying. This goes in the park database, she says when we're done. Time-stamped, GPS logged, witness statements. If anything else happens related to this incident, there's a record establishing the basic facts. Thank you. Mrs. Carter. She waits until I look at her. If you think this was anything other than an accident, you need to tell me now. I think I need to talk to my son first. Make sure we all have the same understanding of what happened. That's your right, but if you change your mind about what you want to report, you call me directly. She hands me a card. Cell numbers on the back. I pocket the card. Thank you, Officer Hart. Outside in our truck, the parking lot lights cast orange pools on the asphalt. Tyler's Audi is long gone. So is Maddie's white SUV. Daniel finally breaks. We're really doing this. He tried to kill us. He's our son. He stopped being our son when he pushed us off a cliff for Instagram engagement and inheritance money. I pull out my phone. 3 missed calls from Tyler. 2 from our daughter Jenna. 1 voicemail from Maddie. I play Maddie's message on speaker, volume low. Hi, Mom. Just wanted to check in. We got super worried when you guys disappeared on the trail. We hiked out thinking maybe you went a different route or something. Hope you made it down safe. Let us know you're okay. We're super concerned and Tyler's really upset. Love you. The performance is flawless. The vocal fry, the upspeak, the concern that sounds completely genuine if you don't know she watched us fall and did nothing. If I didn't know better, I'd believe every word. I delete the message. What are you thinking? Daniel asks. I'm thinking Tyler tried to get you to sign over the house 3 months ago with a threat. I'm thinking he's been planning this. I'm thinking there's documentation somewhere. Emails, texts, cloud storage. I'm thinking like an ICU nurse. Chart the symptoms, find the disease. Cut it out before it kills the patient. Rach, I'm thinking we need to go home and start building a case. At home, the house they want so desperately they tried to murder us for it. I make tea and open my laptop while Daniel ices his knee. Our house is a single-story ranch on 3/4 of an acre outside town. We bought it in 1992 for $85,000. Paid off the mortgage in 2012. Current value according to Zillow, $420,000, maybe more depending on market conditions. It's not a mansion, just a solid house with good bones in a neighborhood that gentrified around us while we stayed put and paid our bills and lived our lives. The deeds in both our names. Joint tenancy with right of survivorship, which means if one of us dies, the other gets everything automatically. And if we both die, everything goes to our kids. Tyler and Jenna equal shares. $420,000 split 2 ways. $210,000 per child. Enough to clear debts. Enough to fund the lifestyle they're trying to maintain. Enough to kill for. I search Daniel's email with his permission, using the account search function for Tyler's name. Find it in August, a forwarded PDF attachment. Subject line, just in case, no pressure. I open it. Quitclaim deed template. Grantor names: Daniel Robert Carter and Rachel Ann Carter. Grantee: Tyler Carter Ventures, LLC. Property description matches our address exactly: 4487 Ridgeview Lane. He didn't just ask Daniel verbally. He sent official paperwork. Prepared. Professional. Like he'd researched exactly how to do this. I screenshot everything. Timestamp visible in the corner. August 14th, 2024, 3:47 p.m. Then I checked Tyler's social media. His brand partnerships are all public. Influencer transparency, he calls it. Elevate Bar protein snacks. Peak Gear outdoor equipment. Summit Water hydration systems. Based on the partnership grids and sponsored post frequencies, he's probably pulling 6 figures annually. Enough to live well if you're smart about it. But Tyler's not smart about money. Never has been. I find his LLC registration on the Secretary of State website. Tyler Carter Ventures, LLC. Registered agent, Madison Cole. Filed in April 2024. Business address is a registered agent service in Denver. No actual office. Just a mailbox company. I screenshot it. Then I find our daughter Jenna's podcast, Radical Wellness with Jenna. 300,000 downloads per episode according to her media kit. Sponsored by supplement companies, meditation apps, online therapy platforms. She's monetized wellness the same way Tyler monetized outdoor adventure, by making it aspirational and just out of reach enough that people keep chasing it. And there, in episode 47 from 2 months ago, I find it. I play it on low volume while Daniel listens from the couch. Jenna's voice, smooth and practiced with that slightly breathy quality that wellness influencers all seem to have. Today we're talking about family toxicity and financial enmeshment, and this is hard for me to share, but I think it's important. Sometimes your parents' generation holds on to resources that enable unhealthy patterns, like my parents still live in this house they bought in the 90s for practically nothing. It's appreciated so much, but they refuse to leverage it or help fund opportunities for the next generation. That's actually a form of control. It's financial hoarding. Daniel closes his eyes. Jesus Christ. Both of them, I say quietly. Tyler and Jenna. They've both been setting this up. Setting what up? The narrative. Tyler frames us as obstacles to his success. Jenna frames us as toxic hoarders. They build the story publicly so that when we die, when they kill us, everyone who's been following them already believes we were the problem. I open a new document. Title it, Evidence Log. Entry 1, Quitclaim Deed Template, August 14th, 2024, 15:47. Sent by Tyler Carter to Daniel Carter without authorization or discussion of terms. Demonstrates premeditation of property transfer. Entry 2, Ranger Incident Report, October 28th, 2024, 17:45. Switchback Ridge Upper Trail, near fatal fall. Tyler and Madison Carter left scene without rendering aid or confirming parents' survival. Entry 3, Jenna Carter Podcast, Episode 47, September 15th, 2024. Public statement characterizing parents as financially controlling and hoarding resources. Establishes motive for wanting access to parents' assets. My phone buzzes. Text from Jenna. Mom, Tyler said you guys had a scare on the trail. Call me when you can. I'm worried about you and Dad. I don't respond. Instead, I open my hospital login portal. Check my shift records. For the past 3 months, I've worked 53 hours average per week. Every shift logged. Every clock in and clock out documented. Every break recorded. If anyone tries to say I was unstable, erratic, mentally unfit, I've got 3 months of perfect attendance and documented competent performance. I've got patient outcome data. I've got supervisor evaluations. I've got alibis for every single hour. Daniel's watching me work. You're building a case. I'm protecting us. From our children. from people who tried to kill us. They happen to be our children, but that's becoming less relevant by the minute. My phone buzzes again. Tyler this time. Hey Mom, you guys make it down okay? We were getting worried when you didn't answer. Hope everything's good. Love you. I screenshot the text. Note the timestamp, 2014. 2 hours and 29 minutes after he pushed us off a cliff. Then I look up one more thing. Maddie's GoPro cloud account. She films everything, posts selectively, but the cloud auto-uploads all footage. She's mentioned it in her Instagram stories, how she captures everything and then curates the best moments for content, raw reality refined into aspirational lifestyle. I don't have her login credentials, but I have something better. I'm on her family sharing plan from when we helped her set up her phone last Christmas. She wanted to share photo storage with Tyler and asked if we wanted to be included. I said yes, thinking it would be nice to see photos of them, never thinking I'd be using it to document attempted murder. I log into the family photo stream, and there it is, video file, uploaded at 17:43, duration, 4 minutes 37 seconds. The thumbnail shows the trail. Daniel and me walking, Tyler ahead with the drone. I download it, lock my laptop, stand up. Where are you going? Daniel asks. To find out who else Tyler and Jenna owe money to, because if they're this desperate for our house, they're bleeding cash somewhere. And I want to know where. Rach, I'm an ICU nurse, Dan. I know how to triage. And right now, our kids are the emergency that's going to keep bleeding out unless I find the source. I grab my jacket and keys. Outside, the mountain air smells like pine and early snow, beautiful and cold and utterly indifferent to whether we live or die, just like Tyler. But I'm not indifferent. I'm surgical, and I'm about to perform the most important operation of my life. The county clerk's office opens at 8 a.m. Monday morning. I'm there at 7:45, first in line, large coffee in hand. The lobby smells like old carpet and copy machine toner. There's a water cooler that gurgles periodically, and a bulletin board covered with public notices about property taxes and foreclosures and name changes. The clerk's a woman named Patricia, maybe 60, grey hair and a practical bob, reading glasses on a chain. She's worked here long enough that she knows where every record hides and exactly how much information she can legally share. Need something specific? She asks when the doors unlock. Property record search. I want to know if there have been any attempts to file quitclaim deeds on 4487 Ridgeview Lane in the past 6 months. She types slowly, deliberately. Waits. Types again. Her monitor faces away from me, but I can see her eyes moving as she reads. Nothing filed officially, but there's a digital draft attempt from September 3rd. System keeps those for 90 days as backup. Someone started the online form, got partway through, didn't submit. Can you print it? Public record once it's initiated, even if unsubmitted, 5 cents a page. She prints 3 pages. I pay 25 cents because I don't have exact change and tell her to keep it. She hands me the printouts. In the parking lot, I read carefully. The draft quitclaim deed was started by Tyler Carter Ventures, LLC, at 1423 on September 3rd, 2024. Grantor names, Daniel Robert Carter and Rachel Ann Carter. Grantee, Tyler Carter Ventures, LLC. Property description matches our address. Legal description matches our plat. There's a field for grantor signatures that's blank, a field for notary that's blank, but everything else is filled out, ready to file. He didn't just ask Daniel verbally 3 months ago. He tried to file it digitally a month and a half ago, probably hoping Dad would sign something without reading it carefully. Just a formality. Son needs help. Family helps family, right? Wrong. I photograph every page with my phone. Timestamp visible. GPS data embedded. Next stop, Regional Memorial Hospital. I badge in through the employee entrance at 9:15, heading straight to my office in the logistics wing. My official title is Supply Chain Supervisor, Clinical Services, which means I order everything from gauze to gurneys and make sure it arrives when needed. It also means I have access to shift schedules, security footage logs, delivery tracking systems, and employee records going back 2 years. I pull my own records first. August through October 2024, 53.4 hours average per week. Every shift clocked with badge timestamps, every break logged, every patient supply order filled and documented. I print 2 months of timesheets, standard thermal paper from the time clock, undoctored, with the system's watermark visible. Then I pull something else from the security system, visitor logs. Our hospital requires check-in for anyone not badged as staff or contract workers. Sign in at reception, get a visitor sticker, sign out when you leave. The system keeps digital records for insurance and liability purposes. I search Daniel's name first. Nothing recent. Search Tyler Carter. 1 entry, September 20th, 2024, 14:30. Visitor purpose, meeting family member. Duration, 47 minutes. Signed out at 15:17. That was a Thursday. I was working a double shift. Daniel was home. I cross-reference with Daniel's phone records. He gave me access to his account last night when I explained what I was doing. There's a call from Tyler's number that day, logged at 15:45, duration 47 minutes. The timeline is clear. Tyler came to the hospital, ostensibly to meet family, but actually to catch Daniel alone while I was working, then called him immediately after leaving to follow up on whatever pitch he made in person. That's when Tyler made his second attempt on the house. Not casual, not spontaneous, calculated, planned, executed like a business deal. I print the visitor log. My phone buzzes. Text from Jenna. "Mum, seriously, you're worrying me. Just text back that you're alive." I respond, "Alive. Busy. Talk later." Her response comes immediately. "Busy with what?" I don't answer. Instead, I drive across town to the self-storage facility off Highway 34. It's a sprawling complex of identical beige buildings with rolling garage doors, the kind of place where people keep boat trailers and Christmas decorations and evidence of lives they used to live but don't anymore. The manager's office smells like burnt coffee and air freshener. The guy behind the desk is Luis Alvarez, mid-50s, salt and pepper hair, calm, steady energy like someone who's seen every possible storage facility drama and isn't impressed anymore. "Help you?" he asks without looking up from his phone. "I need to know if my son has a storage unit here. Tyler Carter." Now he looks up. "Can't release tenant information. Privacy policy." "What if the account's past due?" He pauses, sets down his phone. "Then that would be a matter of public record if we end up filing a lien. But we don't file until 3 months past due, and we send multiple notices first. Have you filed any liens recently on Tyler Carter's account?" "Not yet. He's only 2 months behind. Not unusual in this economy." "What about a Logan Price?" Logan Price, Jenna's husband, event producer, the guy who always has big plans and bigger promises and somehow never quite delivers. The kind of man who drives a leased BMW and talks about synergy unironically. Luis checks his computer, types, reads. Logan Price has Unit 23C, 1 month behind on payments. He's got Jenna Carter listed as an authorized user. Bingo. Is his account otherwise in good standing? Aside from being late? Yeah. Though we did have a complaint from the unit below him about noise at odd hours. People loading and unloading after midnight. What kind of things? Can't say specifically, but the complaint mentioned rolling carts and equipment sounds. Could be anything. I thank Luis and leave. In my truck, I pull up Logan's event company website, Price Point Productions. The landing page is slick, all dramatic fonts and video backgrounds of perfectly lit corporate parties. The About section says Logan has 10 years of experience in experiential event design and brand activation. The recent work gallery shows corporate parties, conferences, and product launches, but none of the dates are more recent than March 2024, 7 months ago, He hasn't worked a real event in 7 months, but he's still projecting success. I check his business registry with the Secretary of State. Filed in 2021. Good standing. The business address matches Tyler's LLC address. Same registered agent service in Denver. They're not just related by marriage, they're in business together. Some kind of partnership or shared resource arrangement. I start making a list in my phone notes. Tyler, outdoor influencer. Brand partnerships with Elevate Bar, Peak Gear, Summit Water. LLC registered April 2024. Storage unit 2 months past due. Attempted quitclaim filing Sep 3rd. Logan, event producer. No recent work. LLC registered 2021. Storage unit 1 month past due. Shares business address with Tyler's LLC. Possible shared equipment, Chive Resources. Jenna, wellness podcaster. 300K downloads, Charch episode. Monetizes through sponsorships. Married to Logan. Authorized user on his storage unit. Publicly framed parents as financially controlling in Sep's 15th podcast. They're all bleeding money, living on credit and image while the real bills go unpaid. And our house, paid off, appreciating, sitting there like a bank account they can't access, must be driving them crazy. Next, I contact the vendors. This part's easy if you know where to look. Event producers have websites with client testimonials. Outdoor influencers have partnership pages listing collaboration inquiries. Both Tyler and Logan have contact forms that lead to email addresses. I start with Tyler's outdoor gear sponsors. Professional, careful emails. Hello, I'm conducting due diligence research regarding Tyler Carter Ventures LLC. I understand your company has a partnership agreement with Mr. Carter. I'm documenting business relationships for a related legal matter and wanted to confirm current payment terms and fulfillment status. Please contact me at your convenience if you have any information to share. 3 emails, 3 major companies, all completely legitimate questions. Then I reach out to venues where Logan's produced events. I find them through his portfolio page, 4 hotels, 2 conference centers, 1 university event space. Same professional approach. I'm following up regarding services provided by Price Point Productions under Logan Price. Could you please confirm that all contractual obligations and invoices have been satisfied? This is for documentation purposes only. It's not accusation. It's not harassment. It's just asking questions that any reasonable person conducting due diligence would ask. By lunch, I've sent 11 inquiry emails. By 3 p.m., I have 4 responses. First response from Elevate Bar's partnership coordinator. Ms. Carter, thank you for reaching out. We terminated our partnership with Tyler Carter Ventures on October 15th due to repeated failure to return demo equipment as specified in our agreement. We are currently pursuing recovery of approximately $8,200 in unreturned product samples and promotional materials. If you have information regarding his current assets or contact details, we would appreciate that for our legal team. Second response, from a hotel events coordinator. Hello, Rachel. I remember you actually. You came to our venue years ago for your daughter's college banquet. Regarding Price Point Productions, we had issues with Mr. Price on an August event. He was contracted to provide AV equipment and decor, but showed up with rental equipment he hadn't paid for. The rental company showed up mid-event demanding their gear back. It was a disaster. He still owes us $3,500 in contractual penalties. If you're dealing with him in any capacity, be very careful. Third response, from a conference center manager. Ms. Carter, Logan Price owes us $6,800 from an event in July. He provided equipment that turned out to be borrowed from another client without permission. We had to comp the client's next event to smooth things over. We filed in small claims court, but he's been dodging service. Any information you have would be helpful. Fourth response from Summit Water's brand manager. Hi, Rachel. I can't share specific details, but I can confirm that Tyler Carter is no longer a brand ambassador for Summit Water as of September 2024. There were contractual issues. I've copied our legal team on this email in case they want to follow up with you. I screenshot every email, save them with timestamps, add them to my evidence folder. Tyler and Logan aren't just struggling, they're actively defaulting on contracts, stealing equipment, dodging payments, running scams. And when the money ran out and the bills came due, they looked at our $400,000 house and saw the solution. All they had to do was kill us first. That evening, Daniel and I sit at our kitchen table with everything spread out. Printed documents, timelines, emails, screenshots. It looks like the incident board from a crime show, except it's our kitchen, and the criminals are our children. This feels wrong, Daniel says quietly, staring at a photo of Tyler from his college graduation. Young, hopeful, not yet a person who'd kill for money. More wrong than being pushed off a cliff. He's still our son. He stopped being our son when he decided we were worth more dead than alive. Now he's just a defendant. My phone buzzes. Instagram DM from Maddie. Hey Queen, just wanted to say we're thinking about you and hoping you're recovering okay from the trail scare. Let's keep this offline though. You know how people can twist things. Social media can be so toxic, sending love and healing vibes. I read it twice. Analyze every word choice. Keep this offline. Translation, don't tell anyone what really happened. How people can twist things. Translation, our version is the official version. Social media can be so toxic. Translation, don't post about this where our followers can see. I screenshot the DM, add it to the evidence folder. Then I check Tyler's Instagram. New post from 6 hours ago. Photo of him and Maddie on Switchback Ridge at golden hour, both looking shaken and vulnerable. Maddie's hand on Tyler's shoulder, his eyes slightly red like he's been crying, or at least wants people to think he has. The caption reads, "Scariest day of our lives. Mom and Dad had a close call on the trail today. Thankfully they're okay, but we're still processing the shock and trauma. It reminded us how fragile life is up here, how quickly things can change. Hug your parents while you can. Tell them you love them. Life is precious. Jacques Switchback Ridge. Jacques family first. Jacques trail safety. Jacques grateful for family." 18,000 likes already. 437 comments. I scroll through them. Mountain Mom, 88. OMG, so glad they're safe. You guys must have been terrified. Peak Bro Dude. Dude, that trail is no joke. Mad respect for staying calm. Wellness Jenna. Love you, bro. Mom and Dad are warriors. We're so blessed they're okay. That last comment is from Jenna, our daughter, who knows exactly what happened because Tyler told her, who's performing concern for an audience while knowing her brother tried to murder us. I screenshot the post and all visible comments. Then I notice something that makes my blood run cold. The photo metadata, visible if you know how to check it, which I do because I've had to authenticate time-stamped medical photos for legal cases at the hospital. I download the original image file. Check the XCF data embedded in the file. Date time original, 2024, 10/28, 17:39, 04, GPS latitude, 39D4322, NGPS, longitude, 105D3418, W camera, iPhone 15 Pro. The timestamp shows the photo was taken at 17:39. We fell at 17:45. They staged their scariest day of our lives. Grief shot 6 minutes before pushing us off the cliff. It wasn't reactive. It wasn't spontaneous emotion captured in the aftermath of trauma. It was premeditated content creation. They planned the photo, took the photo, then executed the murder attempt, then posted the photo with a caption about how traumatic it was. Daniel's reading over my shoulder. Jesus Christ. They planned it, I say, voice steady despite the fury building in my chest. Not just the push, the whole thing, the content strategy, the narrative, the grief performance. They knew exactly what they were doing. What do we do with this? We document it, and we wait. For what? For them to make the next mistake. Because they will. They're not as smart as they think they are. They're just used to people believing their performance. My phone buzzes again. Email notification. From Luis Alvarez at the storage facility. Subject, Storage Unit 47B, final notice before lien. I open it. Ms. Carter, following up on your inquiry earlier. Tyler Carter's unit, 47B, went 3 months past due today. Per facility policy, we will file a lien in 72 hours unless payment is received in full. Once lien is filed, it becomes public record and contents can be auctioned to satisfy debt. Thought you might want to know. Luis. I stare at the email. Tyler's unit is about to go to lien, which means public auction, which means whatever he's storing there, equipment, documents, evidence, could end up in someone else's hands, or mine. What is it? Daniel asks. I show him. He reads it, looks at me. What are you thinking? I'm thinking I want to know what's in that unit. I'm thinking Tyler's been storing something he doesn't want found. And I'm thinking that in 72 hours, I might get a chance to find out. Rach, he tried to kill us, Dan. Whatever he's hiding in that storage unit is part of why, and I'm going to find it. I text Luis back. Thank you for the heads up. Can you let me know when the lien filing is official? I may have interest in the contents. His response comes 30 seconds later. Will do. Be advised, if family member pays before auction, contents remain private. But if it goes to auction, it's first come, first served. I smile. Tyler has 72 hours to come up with 3 months of back rent, and I have 72 hours to prepare for what comes next. Because this isn't over. This is just beginning. Thursday night, 11:47 p.m. I'm sitting in my truck in the far corner of the storage facility parking lot, engine off, watching the security camera coverage patterns that Luis helpfully explained to me this afternoon when I stopped by to ask about rental availability. The cameras cover the main entrance, the office, and the primary corridor between buildings. They don't cover the side approaches or the individual unit areas. Budget cuts, Luis said. They rely on motion sensor lights and the assumption that most thieves target ground floor units near the exit. Tyler's unit, 47B, is on the second floor of Building 4. Interior corridor. Motion lights that trigger when you walk past. I'm not here to break in. I'm here to watch. Because Luis mentioned that past due accounts often see activity right before lien filing. People make last-minute attempts to move inventory or retrieve important items. Usually happens at night when they think no one's watching. Daniel's beside me with coffee and ibuprofen for his knee. He tried to convince me this was a bad idea. I reminded him our son tried to kill us and he stopped arguing. This is insane, he says now, voice quiet. This is documentation. Rach, they tried to kill us, Dan. I'm allowed to document their criminal activity. A silver Audi pulls into the lot. Tyler's car. I recognize the custom plate. Elevate. Logan's pickup truck follows 30 seconds later. Black Ram 1500 with light bar and running boards. Definitely leased. Both of them, Daniel murmurs. They park near Building 4, away from the main lights. Tyler pops his trunk. Logan opens his truck bed. I pull out my phone. Start recording video. Timestamp visible in the corner. They work fast, pulling out a dolly and loading it with boxes. Large flat boxes labeled Elevation Kit Materials and Summit Activation Supplies and Peak Partnership Demo Units. Brand marketing materials. Sponsor gear. The kind of stuff that should have been returned to companies months ago according to the emails I received. They're storing evidence of contract violations and theft. I zoom in. The video quality's not great in low light, but it's good enough. I can make out Tyler's face, Logan's profile, the labels on the boxes. They wheel the loaded dolly toward Building 4, disappear inside. I check the time, 23 or 53. They're moving merchandise at midnight, not during business hours, not with any attempt to be discreet about the financial situation, just desperate men moving boxes in the dark because the 72-hour deadline is ticking. 6 minutes later, they emerge with the empty dolly, return to the vehicles, load up again. This time, Logan's carrying something different, large black equipment cases, the kind used for cameras or lighting or sound equipment, professional gear, event equipment, probably the stuff the hotel manager mentioned, the rental equipment Logan borrowed from one client to use for another client without permission. I keep recording. They make 4 trips total. By 12:31 a.m., they've moved approximately 15 boxes and 8 equipment cases. On the final trip, Tyler's on his phone. I can't hear what he's saying, but his posture screams stress. Shoulders tight, freehand gesturing, pacing. They finish loading, close the unit door, head back to the vehicles. That's when I do something calculated. I get out of my truck, boots loud on asphalt, deliberate. Walk across the parking lot toward the building entrance, not hiding, not sneaking, just walking like a person with legitimate business here at 12:37 a.m. They hear me coming. Both freeze. Tyler turns, sees me. His face cycles through expressions in maybe 2 seconds. Surprise, fear, anger, then this attempt at casual normal that doesn't quite land. "Mom!" His voice is too loud. What are you doing here?" "I could ask you the same thing. It's almost 1 a.m. Just reorganizing some gear. Event stuff for Logan's business. Got a big job coming up. Needed to sort inventory. In a storage unit that's 3 months past due." Tyler's jaw tightens. "How do you know that?" "Luis mentioned it. Said you're 72 hours from lien filing. Seems like a problem." Logan steps forward. He's 30, always talking fast, always has an angle. Right now, he's trying the smooth approach. "Hey, Rachel, listen, that's actually not accurate. We're working on payment, just some cash flow timing issues, normal business stuff. Normal business is paying your bills on time. We've got investors, we've got deals closing, we're just waiting on..." "On what? On our house? On us dying so you can inherit and clear your debts?" Silence. Tyler's face goes red. That was an accident on the trail." "Was it an accident when you told Dad there were faster ways to inherit?" Because he remembers that conversation. It was 3 months ago, August, right before you tried to file a quitclaim deed online without permission. Tyler takes a step back. "I don't know what you're talking about." "No?" I pull out my phone. Show him the screenshot. The draft quitclaim deed from the county records. "This look familiar?" His face goes from red to pale. Logan's already backing toward his truck. Smart move on his part. Tyler doesn't back down. "You're twisting things. That was just... we were exploring options. For inheritance before we're dead. Except you tried to speed that up on Switchback Ridge, didn't you?" "We tried to help you. We reached out and you pushed us. Both hands, center mass. I've been an ICU nurse for 30 years. I know the difference between helping someone and pushing them off a cliff." A car pulls into the lot. "Security making rounds?" "No, different vehicle, but it's enough to make Tyler nervous. He glances at the approaching headlights, then back at me. "This is harassment. You're harassing us." "I'm standing in a public parking lot at a storage facility. You're the ones moving merchandise at midnight from a unit that's in violation." "There's no violation. Really, because I have emails from Elevate Bar about $8,200 in unreturned demo equipment, from Summit Water about terminated partnerships, from Peak Gear about contract breaches. Want me to forward those to Luis? I'm sure he'd be interested to know you're storing stolen sponsor materials." Tyler moves toward me. Not threatening. Not quite. But definitely moving into my space. Daniel's there faster, stepping between us. "Don't." Tyler stops, breathing hard. That's when I do something I've been planning since I got here. There's a rolling safety ladder leaning against the building wall, the kind maintenance uses to change light bulbs in high fixtures. It's propped loosely, not secured. I'm standing near it. Tyler's still moving forward, anger overriding his sense, focused on me instead of his surroundings. I hook the base of the ladder with my boot. Just a little pressure. The ladder rolls, directly into the path of their loaded dolly, which is sitting at the top of the corridor ramp. The dolly's brake wasn't fully engaged. The ladder hits it. The dolly starts rolling. Boxes shift. The whole thing tips. Boxes slide off and hit the pavement. One splits open. Papers everywhere. Contracts. Invoices with past due stamped in red. Vendor agreements. Sponsor contracts with termination notices. All of it spilling across the asphalt like evidence exploding out of a crime scene. Tyler lunges for the papers, trying to gather them. I photograph everything. My phone camera rapid fires. Close-ups of invoices showing $8,200 owed to Elevate Bar. Peak Gear termination letter dated October 15th. Summit Water contract breach notice. Hotel venue penalty invoice for $3,500. Every piece of paper is documentation of fraud, theft, or breach of contract. That's when Luis appears from the office, flashlight in hand. Everything okay out here? Thought I heard a crash. Just an accident, I say calmly. The dolly tipped. No one's hurt. Luis surveys the scene. Tyler on his knees gathering papers, Logan halfway to his truck, me standing there with my phone out, obviously photographing everything. He walks over to the spilled boxes, picks up one of the invoices, reads it. Unit 47B, right? He asks Tyler. Yeah, but... And these boxes contain equipment that's still owed to vendors. It's complicated. Luis sets down the invoice, pulls out his phone. Sir, I'm going to need to document this. If you're storing merchandise that's involved in active disputes or legal claims, that changes the facility's liability profile. You can't... Actually, I can. It's in your rental agreement, Section 9. Prohibited items include stolen property or property subject to legal claims. I need to make a full inventory of what's in this unit. That's a legal search. No, it's contract enforcement. You signed the agreement. And since your account is past due, I have the right to inspect the contents. Luis looks at me. Ma'am, are you a party to any of these disputed contracts? My son and son-in-law owe money to multiple vendors. I've been helping some of those vendors document their claims. I can provide contact information if you need witness statements. Luis nods. That would be helpful. Tyler, I'm initiating lien proceedings effective immediately. You've got 10 minutes to remove personal items only. Clothing, documents, family items. Everything else stays until we sort out what's legitimate inventory and what's disputed property. This is bullshit. This is contract law. You want to dispute it, call a lawyer. You've got 10 minutes. Luis walks to his office, returns with a clipboard and a new padlock. Tyler and Logan scramble, trying to figure out what they can legally take, what they have to leave, whether any of this is salvageable. They can't salvage it, because I've photographed everything, because Luis is documenting the inventory, because the papers currently scattered across the parking lot prove they've been running a shell game with other people's equipment and money. At 1:04 a.m., Luis changes the lock on Unit 47B. Tyler and Logan stand there with 2 duffel bags of personal items and absolutely nothing else. This isn't over, Tyler says, looking at me with pure hatred. You're right, I say. It's not. He drives away without another word. Logan follows. In my truck, Daniel's shaking. What just happened? Evidence happened. Documentation happened. Their mistakes happened. I scroll through my phone photos. Dozens of clear shots, invoices, contracts, termination letters, vendor names, dollar amounts. All of it admissible. All of it time-stamped. All of it proving Tyler and Logan have been defrauding sponsors and vendors for months. What's next? Daniel asks. I pull up my email. Start forwarding the photos to Officer Hart with a message. Additional evidence related to October 28th Switchback Ridge incident. Tyler Carter and Logan Price storing stolen sponsor equipment and unpaid vendor merchandise. Storage facility manager can confirm and provide witness statement. Full inventory available upon request. Send. Then I text Luis. Thank you for your help tonight. The vendors I'm working with will be very appreciative. Let me know when the lien is official. His response comes immediately. Lien filed electronically at 0117. Public record as of now. You want first notification when the auction date is set? Yes, please. I set down my phone. Daniel looks at me. You planned this? I documented it. There's a difference. You knew they'd show up tonight. Luis mentioned that past due accounts often have midnight activity before lien filing. I made an educated guess. And the ladder was improperly secured. Workplace safety violation. Could have been dangerous if someone had tripped on it. He almost smiles. Doesn't quite. You're terrifying. I'm methodical. We drive home through empty streets. Get there at 2 a.m. I should be exhausted, but I'm wired, mind racing through next steps. Before bed, I check Tyler's Instagram one more time. No new posts, but his follow account has dropped by 3,000 since yesterday. The algorithm knows something's wrong. People are unfollowing. I check Jenna's podcast page. Same thing. Downloads dropping. Comments getting more critical. The image they've built so carefully is starting to crack. And I'm the one with the sledgehammer. Tomorrow I'll see what else breaks.